Welcome back, folks, to, is it a Biz Blast? Is it a Light Ted?
It's a Light Ted.
Woo! Welcome back to the Light Ted Online Video Show. This episode of the show is sponsored by our friends at Keystone Technologies. Go to KEYSTONETECH.com. Greg, what's happening?
So I was flipping through a lighting industry publication. It's by the IES. That's okay to say on this show. IES is a respected organization. The LDNA magazine.
I would say more than respected, but yes.
Yes, but the Light Ted Mag is very awesome, as we know, the Ted Mag, all that too.
For sure.
So you got to look at them all. But I just happen to be flipping through this, and I look at it with whatever comes quarter. And one section is on events, and it shows the map, and it shows where the events are for the quarter, or for the year, or whatever. I've got the last 4 of them or so, and I looked at it, and I was like, all right, there's 12 events this quarter. There's another 14 this quarter. Then there's 6 this quarter. And then I looked at the most recent one, and it showed upcoming events, and it was reaching out into 2021. There's two on a calendar. One is in up in Canada, some random show I hadn't heard of, and the other is Light Fair in 2021 as of now, May of 2021. So we all know, that there's some things happened that resulted in that. But I'm trying to figure out where it's going to go. There's a couple questions I have, and you and I have talked about this a lot. Is there's conventions and there's conferences, and then there's virtual and there's in person, and we have vast experience in it now. Mm-hmm. But where is it going to go? What's the right move in the future for the lighting industry? What do you think we're going to see? First, break down conference versus convention, just because you get fired up about that.
Okay, well, a convention is a place where people get together and to make decisions about something. So a convention is where, the National Association of Innovative Lighting Distributors will gather to vote for their new board members and change their things and come up with kind of like a plan for the future. That's what a convention is. A convention can have a conference element to it. A conference cannot have a convention element. That's the difference. So when the IES has a conference, their board may meet at the conference, but it's not about it. So like a convention, you have to be a member to attend the convention, or members have a special status at the convention. And so even though, a lot of people confuse these things, conventions are about decision making, coming up with a plan, voting, and members. Conferences are about education and gathering to discuss ideas.
Okay.
So can you have a conference element, but conferences can't have a convention element.
So can you have a virtual convention?
Yes.
And you can have a virtual conference?
Yes. Sure.
Okay. So what are the goods and the bads of it? I know obviously you get a bigger reach when you have. It's all bad though, right?
Yeah. There's nothing good about this at all.
The only thing I could say that is good is you might have more reach. No, like more people can access it.
We just did the virtual. Yeah, sure. But how many of them actually paid attention? I mean, I don't want to criticize our work. We put a lot of work into those panels at the IES conference that we did the pre-conference stuff with them for Nailed. Yep. And I'm okay saying that. I know this is NAED. We love NAED. They have the best events, by the way. I hope they go back. Mm-hmm. That one we went to was amazing. I think the NAED is amazing at running events.
Absolutely.
So, the idea, but I mean, a lot of people watched it and that, but you don't get the same vibe, dude. You don't have the same feeling. There's no camaraderie. There's no, Steve Robinson and Gordon Hunt aren't standing at the back sizing everybody up, making decisions about you know what I'm saying? There's no vibe.
Yeah. Because a lot of it is when you're in person is you hear it, and then you talk to the person next to you, or you, in between sessions, you're talking about it, or you're kind of
talking about it
during. Yeah, right. Exactly.
You're like, that guy's full of crap. Yeah. Yeah. You know what I mean? You say to the guy,
he's never sold a light bulb in his life.
Yeah.
He's never sold a light bulb in his life.
That's probably how I met you. I turned to you and said, that guy's never sold a light bulb in his whole life. And you're like, yeah, for sure. No way. Right? I mean, how many times have we said that to one another?
90% of the time we hear.
At a conference. We're sitting there at a convention or at Light Fair or whatever, and you're like listening, you're like, that guy's never sold lighting to anybody. Never. There's no chance. And you know what? I would say most of the people in lighting that do the talking have never sold anything to anybody.
True. Yeah.
You know,
From what we've heard, at least.
Well, when we were talking about the health effects, by the time we got to the end of it with our panel, they're like, "Yeah, you guys want to make money." Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Now you see it. That's why I put the knife in my mouth and I'm swinging through the trees. Right?
You want something.
Yeah.
So
conferences,
do you think there's going to be, do you think we're going to get, like, I don't know if we're going to get back there. That's a question. I mean, we have to at some point, right? You can't, they can't go on virtually and make any sense. They'll just not happen.
We often discussed before, hang on a second though. Let's go back a little bit.
Okay.
Because I think the whole thing needs to be prefaced. There was way too many lighting events.
There was. Absolutely.
Okay. So like there needed to be a culling of lighting events. Okay. Like there was a lot of lighting events going on. I mean, come on, man. And I don't know which ones should win. I mean, at one point we could have gone to 3 lighting events a month and live streamed.
Easily. We were for a little while booked.
almost into December.
Yeah, you're right.
Right? Like it was like the show season used to start in April with Nailed. And then you'd have 3 or 4 shows, and then summer would break. And then maybe the IES would do something in that summer conference. And then September you'd have a couple more shows and that'd be it. And then it just became like January through to November, December. It was trade shows all the time. Now, maybe I didn't know about them back then or whatever it was, but it just seemed like there's a lot of events going on. So there needed to be a culling. All right, so there's too many events. The problem now is, the way I see it is that you have this divide. I don't even know if this belongs on the Light TED online video show, but you have this divide between people that are like, I just want to get on a plane and go somewhere and hang out with friends, man. And I saw this guy's Twitter tweet whatever you call it, Twitter tweet. He tweeted out, he's like, I just want to go to a bar and play pool with my friends. That was his tweet.
That's it. Yeah.
Oh, no. And then it was, what happened to 15 days to flatten the curve?
Yeah.
Right? That was his tweet. And I was like, man, that's so true, you know? And so, but there's these people that are kind of they're, and look, you know me, well, my opinion, I'm full virus hoax. Like, do I think COVID-19 is a real pathogen? Yes, I do. Okay. Do I think it makes people sick? Yes, I do. Do I think it affects people that have compromised immune systems? Yes, I do. Is that true about a lot of other viruses? Yes, it is. Okay. So those things are all true. Okay. I'm not saying any of that is. The problem is that they've created so much fear and panic about this particular pathogen, about this particular epidemic, that I don't know if people, the average person, is going to be able to go back. I mean, there are epidemics and things going on and crises going on right now that are way worse than COVID-19. In fact, exacerbated by, the opioid epidemic is one of them. Smoking. Okay? Smoking. Alcoholism, opioids. What was the other one I was thinking of there? Just the other day that popped into my head that I was thinking is suicide. I mean, there are things that are way worse than COVID-19 that we have to worry about. Then, in fact, these lockdowns exacerbate. But the problem is that, people have been so conditioned by their news media to be afraid of this particular pathogen that how do you get out of it? You're never going to have a COVID-19 free society. Every epidemiologist, every virologist will tell you that. Like, it's just going to come back every single year, just like swine flu, H1N1, duck flu, buck flu, A, B, C, D, E, F, G flu. Like, there's a package of flus. There's so many of them that Health Canada doesn't even test for all of them anymore. Because every year they come back and they pick one. And when they do a vaccine, they kind of make it a basket, but they don't include everything, and they try to get it in there, right? The world's never going to be free of COVID-19, ever. We're going to have to live with it for the rest of our lives, right? But now, I mean, yeah, I see people walking down the street on a gorgeous, beautiful, sunny day in Toronto, 86 degrees, 78 degrees Fahrenheit, whatever you want, walking down the street by themselves, okay, with their stupid little earbuds in. Those stupid, what do they call those things? Those Apple things?
AirPods or Air,
AirPods.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to be something from art this time that people are going to look back and go, oh, God, okay, I can't believe I walked around like that. But walking down the street, AirPods in, gloves on, mask on. That person, I have to honk at him. I have to. I got to give him a quick honk.
Make sure he's alive, huh?
You do, dude. You know that it's beautiful out. You're by yourself. You're walking down the street. There is nobody near you for like 700 feet.
Right.
And you're wearing a mask? Like, people are scared. I have to honk, honk, honk. Hey, buddy, it's going to be okay.
So they're scared. So are they not going to go to conferences anymore? Are they not going to go to conventions? Are we going to?
No, they're going to prevent everybody from having anything, dude. That's the problem. Okay, they're the people that are in charge, actually. Go down to your local health center. They love it. Those public employees love it. Why? They go down to a government office, talk to it. Like, half the teachers are like, oh, my God. I mean, your wife's a teacher. What is she thinking? I mean, half the teachers I hear from, it's always like, yeah, but what if the kid sneezes in the class? What did you do before?
She's not worried about it necessarily, no. Just confused, as everybody is right now.
Right. Like, my parents just got diagnosed with COVID-19 right now, today. They just got it. They got it on the weekend. They're going to be isolated for 2 weeks or whatever, right? It's like, my mom calls me. She's crying. I'm not ready to die. I'm like, Mom. It's not. Do you feel like you're going to die? No. Well, how do you feel? I feel a little bit sick. Okay, have a cup of tea. Call me if you get really sick. You know, can you get really sick? Sure. Could you? Yeah. Why? There's no reason to be afraid, man. You know, they have literally, I'm not kidding you. Not just today. Just today they went. My dad has no symptoms. Okay, my dad went with my mom to the testing center. Got no symptoms. Right? He's like, well, why don't you get tested? Because your wife's here to get tested. He's like, okay, shove it up his nose. Comes back home. He's like, oh, you got COVID-19. He's like, I already had COVID back in December with everybody else in Toronto. I already had it.
Right.
He's telling them, I already had COVID. This is my old dad, right? He's already had COVID. My son told me I already had it. Right? Whatever. I mean, but yeah, at the end of the day, my mom's more scared than anything else, bro. She's like, should I get that hydrochloroquine? Right? I'm like, well, get her the hydrochloroquine. And she'll, no, we can't give her that. I'm like, why? Docs, well, no, because it doesn't work. I'm like, yes, it does. If she thinks it works, it works. It's called a placebo, man. Then I don't care. Give her the little packages hydrochloroquine. I'll buy it for her. And she can pop one of those every day with the other zinc and whatever else. You put it in a little mix for her. Let her feel better, dude. People need a tonic. They need a tonic right now. They need a tonic of, like, relax. And you know what, dude? Even if you do check out, guess what? It's not about living forever. Actually, that's not what it's about.
Maybe the conference or convention could be the tonic that we need. What do you think? Bring it back.
You know what? Let me tell you this. If I died today, I fucking had a good life, bud. I'll tell you that. You know it. You've been there for a lot of it. Like, not a lot of people have lived like me, man. And so, you know what? What I would say is there's a million ways to die. Is there how many ways are there to live? Is lockdown in your home a way to live? Is being afraid to go to a lighting convention a way to live? I don't think so, man. I don't think so. Open the conventions. Open the halls. Let's go watch some basketball. Shoot some scores. Come on. Enough's enough. You know what I saw this morning?
What?
I was driving around the corner to take my kids to horse camp. And my two little daughters, and we're driving around the corner. And there's this big weird sign, and it's got a mask on it. And it says, Stouffville, stay safe. Whatever. Somebody went there and put with a spray paint can, put a big circle and a strike through it.
On the mask?
Yeah.
Oh.
This has been the Light Ted Online Video Show. This episode of the show is sponsored by Keystone Technologies. Go to KEYSTONETECH.com. Light made easy, man. And you know what? Don't wear a muzzle.